So today I'm going to be discussing lesson 18, building the user model. And yeah, I just went ahead to build the user model in order to use it to create new users and to also link the users to the specific subscriber as well. So what we covered was creating model associations with a user model, using virtual attributes, implementing a CRUD structure, and building an index page to view all the users in our database. So let's see how that works in the code. So firstly, I have my user.js, which is where my model was built, basically for users, right? And here's the structure using schema, where there's a dictionary and it has name, email, zip code, and password as keys, and attached to them are the values. As you can see here, for name, there's another dictionary which has first and last as keys, and then takes, basically they take strings, right? So that's for name of the user. Then there's the email as well, which takes a string, zip code, which takes a number, and a password as well, which takes a string. Then there's causes, which is an array, which takes an object ID and is referencing the cause model. Then over here, right, within this structured data, we have subscribed account as a field as well. This is basically what we use to link the users to the subscriber, which is what I will show you right now after explaining this. So subscribed account basically takes this dictionary as a value, and we can see here the type is an object ID, right? So it takes an object ID, but which object ID? The object ID of the subscriber, hence why we are referencing the subscriber model over here. And then timestamps equals true. And yeah, so that's basically the structure of our data using the schema. So creating our model with that, and the name of the model is user here. Then went ahead to create using user schema. So using this schema, creating a virtual property, and we refer to that virtual property as full name. So basically what it is a virtual property, something that you cannot see these values, or you won't see the user basically in the database for this one specifically, because it's virtual. And then it has a callback function which just returns the first name and last name of the subscriber from the instance that we created, and this is basically referring to the instance. So yeah, that's the model for user. Then in my test.js, right, this is basically where I create my user, I create my subscriber, and I create my user and link my user to my subscriber. But first, before doing that, I have to basically import the subscriber model from models, so I can use that structure of subscriber to create my subscriber, and also import the user model from models as well, so that I can use that structured data to create my user. After doing that, went ahead to create a new subscriber, as you can see here. subscriber.create. So basically using the model and creating a new subscriber. So this is a new subscriber or a new document of the subscriber with all the values here. Then after creating my subscriber, I can go ahead and create my user now, because I want to link my user to the subscriber, right? Because let me say I want to link the user account to the subscribed account, right? So I have a variable test user, and then using the user model, I create my user. So as you can see, it inherits that structure from the model name, and I can put the first and last name in this key value pair over here, right? Then I can put the email, which I did, and then I placed the password as well. Now my user is created. After that is created, dot then is basically the promise. There's basically a whole promise chain over here. So once this is created, then this promise is executed, and in this promise there's callback function, which basically has a parameter here, user. This parameter takes this or holds this document as an argument. So now all this information or this document is stored in user, right? So user is carrying that. Then when that callback function is triggered, basically user, right, is gonna be stored in test user. So now test user is storing this new user document over here. Then return subscriber.find1. What this does is, using find one function or method, we're basically looking for and retrieving the specific user that we created over here using the email, which is this email over here. So now that we found that, now that we're finding that with find one, as soon as that happens, we move on to this next promise, which has a callback function as well and subscriber as a parameter, which stores the subscriber's detail, right, over here. So because essentially find one basically found that subscriber, right, we're gonna store that subscriber document in subscriber over here, and then in this callback function, basically this is the line of code where I link the subscribed account to the user account. How that's done is taking subscriber, which has the subscriber's details, right, or the document, and placing it within the subscribed account field for the specific user, because we know that user, test user, refers to this because it stores this information. So for this user, right, we are basically storing the subscriber in subscribed account, right, and then test user.save, we're saving that user's information, which is now basically updated because now it includes the subscribed account in the user's document over here, and we save that to the database. Subscribed accounts is basically referring to what I discussed in the user model, which is here, this field. And as you can see, basically subscribed account is referencing the subscriber, but we notice that it takes an object ID. So because it's taking that object ID, that's how it will be linked. In the user's profile, you'll see the object ID of that user's subscribed account. Once that is saved, right, it goes on to this next promise. User is basically storing the test user that was saved. So now it's storing the user's information with the subscribed account included in here, in user, right? And then basically we're gonna log that the user is updated, and it shows the user's updated profile or document, right, in the terminal and also in the database. So that's basically how that works, linking the user to to their specific subscribed account. If none of that works, then obviously this catch block is executed, which logs a specific error. So let's see in the database, right? If I go to subscribers, first I created a subscriber, which is here. As you can see, name, Zlatan, email, zlatan@email.com with the zip code as well. And then I created a users, right? As you can see here, there's the user's details. So name, the first name and last name, email, password, when it was created, and when it was updated, right? Then subscribed account is basically what we used to link the user to the specific subscriber, the user account to its specific subscribed account. And as you can see over here, this is basically here mainly because we place subscriber in the subscribed account for that specific user, using the object ID. And now we can see that object ID over here, which is referencing the specific subscribed account for this user. So this account over here. And that's basically how I used the model and the users and subscriber, sorry, to basically get that on the database. Then, as well as the front end, it shows here, if I go to index.ejs for users, it will show basically all the users listed there, including that new user as well. As you can see, the user that I created is over here. So that's basically how lesson 18, all the code works in lesson 18. Just specifically creating this user model and using that to create a user account and linking that to the specific subscribed account as well. Cool.